And here comes the snot. Yeah. I'm going to just do the rest of it like this. Because I don't think I can control it now. I think it's just nasal drip.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? For First We Feast, I'm Sean Evans, and you're watching Hot Ones. It's the show with hot questions and even hotter wings. And today we're having lunch with Gabrielle Union. You know her from timeless films like Bring It On and Bad Boys 2. You can catch her on the landmark series Being Mary Jane, now in its final season. And she has a new book out, the much buzzed about We're Going to Need More Wine. Available now. Gabrielle, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
How are you with hot food?
I'm very concerned my ass is going to explode on camera, and that concerns me. I'm not sure if book readers, how they feel about on-air explosive diarrhea. So I'm a touch concerned.
Well, if you want to look at the wine glasses half full, that happened to Bobby Lee, and it was like a top 5 trending video, millions and millions of views situation. So if that happens, we're moving some units. We're shooting right to the top of the bestsellers list. So fingers crossed.
Thanks, Bobby. My mouth is like already watering, just in anticipation of the humiliation. Here we go. So does it matter which direction we start?
It really does matter which direction you start. So you want to start towards the paddle.
Oh, they're already on there.
We cut out the middleman for you.
Oh, okay. Okay. I'm also hungry and mildly hungover from last night, so this is actually amazing so far.
So I want to start by taking it back to Pleasanton, California, because it's important that people know Dwyane Wade is not the only basketball star in the family.
He is not. He is not.
Does it ever get competitive when you guys hoop? Does the Foothill Falcon in you ever come out?
She comes out often. So with my husband, inside, I feel like, they say any given team on any given day can beat anybody. That's always how I feel. Like, today's the day. He's going down.
And then speaking of love and basketball, some of our viewers might be surprised to learn that you dated Jason Kidd in high school.
Yes, the now coach of the Milwaukee Bucks.
And I was very surprised to learn that he broke up with you via a thumbs down 3 weeks before junior prom.
With my father standing there.
Is that the most savage breakup of all time, or is that just the coward's way out before text messaging and Snapchat?
It stuck with me. That's where the karma was like, oh, bitch, there you are, because all the shit that you've been doing to these poor people, here I am.
Lit that fire.
Yeah. Crystal, okay, that's old school. I feel good.
So your resume as an actress is so vast, from big box office smashes to these cult classics, but the real ones know that it all started with Saved by the Bell, the new class. What did you learn walking with giants like Mr. Belding and Screech?
I learned a lot, actually. They were the first, big stars I'd worked with, and so I just watched them. I would literally just sit in the stands, and I watched how they talked to other people and how they interact with the cast. I watched how they got their timing together for their physical comedy. They're masters. A lot of people don't give Screech the comedic genius appreciation that he deserves.
And then too, when we had Padma Lakshmi on the show, she talked about how she did one episode of Star Trek Enterprise and has been getting fan mail for it 15 years later.
Yes.
Is the iron still hot from playing a Klingon in Deep Space Nine?
Yes, and specifically because I was a Klingon in a very special episode that introduced Worf's son, that and After Complex ran my swimsuit issue, my prison correspondence really saw an uptick. So I feel, between the Trekkies and the prisoners, I'm pretty covered. It is missing some other flavors though.
The flavor profile's not hitting you the way you want it to.
No.
Well, that's such a lovely segue. I love when that happens in Hot Ones because Dwyane Wade's now reunited with LeBron in Cleveland. The bromance is stronger than ever.
Stronger than ever.
So with that in mind, I want to ask you about something that Dwyane said to Food and Wine last year, and I quote, "This might get me in trouble. I would have LeBron order for me before I would let my wife. She'd get me 9 different things to be sure there's something I like. LeBron just knows."
Literally, my husband did not eat anything green or any seafood, at all. for the bulk of our marriage. And then Braun comes. They become the Heatles. And suddenly, he's like, I love sea bass. I've always loved sea bass. No, you didn't. You didn't love sea bass. Like, where did you even hear of sea bass? And he was like, Braun. He made me eat sea bass, and I love it now. And I'm like, well, what else has Braun introduced? And he's like, salad. So thanks, Braun, the future farmers of America. Thank you.
And then I know that the wine is just important as the food with you guys.
Yeah.
Dwyane, he has his own line. You see LeBron on Instagram all the time. And as we know, wine very important to the Gabrielle Union brand.
Yes.
Who's the real connoisseur of the group?
Yeah, Mel he's like super well-versed in all things wine. He's like a wine savant. Didn't see it coming, did you?
I did not.
No, like when you go on those wine tours, I just get drunk. I maybe like, incorporate a couple things that they say, but Mel is like actually like listens and studies and then goes home and does like more research. He's like a whiny. Now this has a flavor that the other one was lacking. This is clearly not from Portland. Yeah. Scotch bonnet and ginger hot sauce. This is really good.
So I have it on good authority that you host some of the best parties in show business, and if the IG posts are any indication, the guest list, it's always A+. Who on the list would you describe as like the must attend? Who is the life of the party?
Braun is always a very good time because he dances. Actually, he's in the room somewhere. Larry Sims. He's a former Missy Elliott dancer turned hairstylist to the stars. He will break out the old choreography.
He'll turn the place out.
Yeah, and he was also in Stomp the Yard, which, for whatever reason, my husband is obsessed that Larry was in Stomp the Yard. And he does and he freeze frames it. And every time, because Stomp the Yard is actually on a lot. Baby, Larry's on! And I'm like, babe, I've seen it. I get it. Another good flavorful one. It's really flavorful. I hate hot sauce that just is hot.
All right, Gabrielle, so we have a recurring segment on our show called Explain That Gram. We do a deep dive on our guest Instagram, pull interesting pictures that need more context. So I'll show you the picture, and then you just tell me the bigger story. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
All right, laptop, please.
I'm all in your password.
Oh, no, you're not. I've got caps in there. I've got characters. I've got numbers.
Uh-huh.
I'm not worried about it. All right.
When I start deleting emails, you'll know what happened. Oh, okay.
Who's the better interview bomber, Gabrielle Union or Chris Bosch?
Me. Because I not only give you funny faces, but I'm gonna mildly, give a booty rub. I just completely take over. You see, he's mortified. He's just had an amazing game at the Garden that was here, that was against the Knicks, and I couldn't help myself. And we talked about his missed free throws. He hit like a game winner, but I
But that's what good coaches do, they're always raising the bar a little bit.
I'm the Bobby Knight of this relationship, Maybe a chair has been thrown, or 6. Oh, that's 10 things. It was a lot of our first movie. We were up in Tacoma at University High School, and we were having the time of our lives. We thought all movies were gonna be like that, where everyone hangs out together, everyone gets paid the same, all of our trailers were the same. I got the 2 girls fake IDs. Their parents signed them over to me, which was a huge mistake. You're not slowing my roll.
And then is it true that Heath Ledger, he used to, when he was partying, he'd have the didgeridoo?
The didgeridoo, yes. He always had the didgeridoo, and he had a couple buddies who came up from, I think it's from Perth, and they would all play it. Like it was like, I guess like you're forced to learn the didgeridoo as an Australian, and because they all seem to know how to play it. I think it's like the equivalent of the recorder or the tonette.
Like everybody in middle school gets
yes.
it?
Hot cross buns, but they did it with like the didgeridoo. Dirty dicks. A bucket full of dirty dicks. Here we go. That was good.
You're into it.
Yeah.
So speaking of Instagram, you have one of the more prolific approaches to Woman Crush Wednesday, where you do these, sometimes essay-length homages to people like Zendaya, Chrissy Teigen, Lala.
Part of like the whole WCW thing is just celebrating women, because oftentimes we're sort of painted as haters and who just cannot take another woman's shine. So I just want to shine as bright of a light on as many women as possible.
Which women in the industry do you look up to?
Everyone who's been like, girl, I don't want you to fail. Come here, I got you. Come here. You're about to fuck it up, so come here. Let me talk to you now. For a long time, I wasn't sure if Jennifer Lewis actually knew my name because she called me Barbie bitch. Barbie bitch, where's the Barbie bitch? Bring Barbie bitch, let me tell you where you're fucking up now. And I was just like, tell me where I'm fucking up. I am Barbie bitch. Because this is where it starts to get a little rough. Okay. Okay. My sinuses are clearing a little bit.
When it comes to vacation goals, I think you'd be hard-pressed to find a couple that does it better than the Wades. Whether it's yacht life or wading through shallow water with pigs, you guys always do it big. And I have a feeling that you know where this is going. Can you give me the BTS on the banana boat situation? Whose idea was it? Who put their credit card down? Was it as much fun as it looked?
Okay, so I will take credit for the banana boat fiasco or glory, depending on how you look at it. The first year that we started going on the couple trip, LeBron and Savannah, they chose the boat, they chose the location, and that boat had all kinds of bells and whistles. There was like a 3-story slide into the ocean, they had jet skis, and then they had other inflatable toys that could be pulled behind the smaller boat called the tender. So I saw that banana boat and I wanted to ride it. Sorry, Mom. But I was like, okay, who's coming with me? And none of the girls wanted to go. So I had to try to convince Bron and D and CP to get on the banana boat. And it took some convincing. Though we had not been photographed, everyone was convinced that we were being surveilled. And I was like, no, not everybody cares about us, you guys. No one's gonna see us. And if no one got us coming down the slide or dancing or whatever, we're safe. Get over yourselves.
Yeah.
So we mount the banana boat. I am in front, then my spouse, and then I think it's like CP3. Yeah.
LeBron bringing up the caboose.
Yeah, and then what they did not capture, which was actually the best part, once we have all mounted the banana, that boat took off. And no one was really prepared. We were there for the initial jolt, and then he hung a hard left, and we flew off and landed like side face first, like all of our, we're like, fuck, like that's all you heard in the water. It hurt, it was painful, but magically they only got us astride.
And then when that catches like a wildfire, does like Dwyane never talk to you afterwards? Like, I told you we shouldn't have gone on that stupid banana boat.
Because as soon as the picture came out, because we were still on vacation when the picture, was released, I was that asshole that, really? No one's gonna see it, huh? And this is called Da Bomb.
Da Bomb Beyond Insanity.
Okay.
They really drive that point home.
All right. Yeah. Fuck.
Off rip.
Okay. Yeah, still burning. Okay. Okay. I forgot I asked for fucking almond milk. I was needing the coolness of regular whole D milk, but I also am lactose intolerant, so I wasn't gonna try to add to the diarrhea. My gums are bleeding.
So we couldn't have you on First We Feast without talking about food, and I know being 44 going on 23, it takes some discipline, but anyone who knows Gabrielle Union knows that you do like to throw down.
I do?
Out of all of the cities that you've landed in, which has the best food?
Atlanta. They use real butter. They use lard, shortening. And it makes everything taste better. And there's like heavy sauces. Nobody's vegan. No one's heard of gluten. It's just a magical place.
Speaking of magical places, from someone on the inside, what's up with NBA players' fascination with the Cheesecake Factory?
Okay, it's meals you recognize. Oh, now it's starting to soothe. Meals you recognize and portions that are reasonable. And most NBA players aren't max dudes. Every town pretty much, every NBA city pretty much has a Cheesecake Factory. So you don't want to be experimenting with some super expensive meal. See, the drooling. Sorry, and now there's burping, and I'm just become that old person. Just is like, fuck it. I'm drooling. I'm losing control of my faculties.
Which players have you come across that are low-key great cooks? Is there anyone who can really do it in the kitchen?
Charles Oakley. First of all, there should be a statue of Oak in front of Madison Square Garden.
Preach.
one night, years ago, I was hosting a pride party. It was a white party for some of the most gorgeous, empowered lesbians on the planet. And I had been day drinking with Michael Jordan and Charles Oakley. And I was like, you guys should come. Like, I bet you guys are gonna be like a huge hit. Everyone's gonna love you. And I've never seen Michael Jordan more categorically ignored ever in life. Later that night, we ended up back at his place, and he is like a master chef. And we'd gone to the grocery store and got all this food, and he introduced me to candied bacon. I mean, I didn't know. He poured the syrup on like the raw bacon and baked it. And when I tell you, yeah, Megadeth. And there's an actual fucking skull and crossbones. Mm-hmm. Wait, what it says, with liquid rage. Yeah, I'm feeling the rage. This is the same rage I felt in my first marriage when I didn't ask him to sign a prenup and I had to later write a big check. The liquid rage is fuck.
So you have some of the best return fire Twitter fingers in the game. There's been many an internet troll who's been humbled by way of the Gabrielle Union quote tweet. Mm-hmm. When you're scrolling your mentions, what are the sorts of red flags that pop up, the internet shenanigans that you find hardest to tolerate?
One that just stuck out with me, like, because I'm reading about, People magazine was like, her struggle with infertility. And then I see the comments and this guy was like, I bet she's struggles with infertility because of all those dicks. What, bitch? What? If fucking all those dicks cause infertility, bitch, you wouldn't fucking be here. That's what I wanted to tweet. But I didn't feel like it was helpful for the topic of infertility, for me to question how many dicks his mama perhaps had. But I was like, is there a dick threshold where you're like, I'm infertile now because that dick was the straw that broke the fucking camel's back? Or the straw that broke my pussy's back. I don't know. And then I had to go to his his
you end
Twitter.
up in the rabbit hole.
Yeah, and I'm like, who the fuck are? Okay, you live at home. How do you know how many dicks I've had? That's usually like my trigger. See how it just happened again?
Yeah.
That's that liquid rage.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck. And here comes the snot. Yeah. I'm gonna just do the rest of it like this, because I don't think I can control it now. I think it's just nasal drip.
We're almost to the top of the mountain, Gabrielle Union. We have one more wing to go.
And my ass hasn't exploded yet.
So this is the last dab. We call it the last dab because it's tradition around here to put a little extra on the last wing. You don't have to if you don't want to, Gabrielle Union.
It's so thick.
It is a little thick.
That's what she
said.
Okay.
You don't have to if you don't want to. You don't have to if you don't want to.
Well, I mean, now, because I'm competitive. That's how you lured me in. Okay. Shit, and there goes my snot. Okay. My mom's gonna be like, "Oh Jesus, you were on television with just snot. I heard you talking about dicks and buckets of dicks and Jesus, Mary Joseph." We're from Omaha, by the way.
I know.
That's my Midwestern thing.
Cornhusker to the death of you, huh?
Till the day I die. It's a rough time right now. It's unfortunate.
All right.
And there it comes.
Mm-hmm. Creeper for sure.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
That doesn't even taste good.
Right.
And it keeps coming.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's try this non-soothing almond milk.
Yeah. Any port in a storm. All right, Gabrielle Union, as we've discussed today, you're a woman who wears many hats. Actress, author, style icon, but I think that there are even more hidden talents than meet the eye while the hot sauce is coursing through you. Can you explain what you meant when you said that working with LL Cool J and DMX brought out your inner rapper?
Okay, I'm gonna just need to stretch a little bit.
Take a lap. We've had many laps.
Okay.
You had to stretch it out.
So that bathroom is a right and a right?
Right
Just
and
in
a right.
case, just in case. Jesus, did you know that DMX loves the Golden Girls? And that's a real fun fact.
Really? Mm-hmm. How do you know this?
Because he watches it in his trailer. There was a dog biting incident with one of the PAs who was sent to go get him for set. And so after a while, nobody wanted to go get him. And so I would be sent to go get him because I'm a dog person. And he'd be like, yeah, have a drink. I'm gonna watch the Golden Girls. This shit is funny. Whew, sorry. Leave. Just drooling. We would have a Heineken and sometimes a little Crown. And we'd watch the Golden Girls, and he would laugh hysterically. I also had to do all of his B-roll questions because they were afraid of him. And so I was like, I'm not asking DMX about the cinematography. Like, you know who doesn't care about the cinematography? Fucking DMX. Does it look like I got like lip injections? Is that what's starting to happen? Because that's what it feels like.
Here's what I would say, Gabrielle Union. You look just as dignified, just as graceful, just as lovely after the last dab as you did before Valentina. That was a great DMX story, and look at what you did today, Gabrielle Union. You cleared the board, you got on top of the hot sauces,
I cleared my sinuses.
And now there's nothing left to do but roll out the red carpet for you, Gabrielle Union. This camera, or this camera, let the people know what you have going on in your life.
I've got my new book. We're gonna need more wine. We just announced me,
Braun,
Dave Talbert. We partnered up. We have a TV show that we just sold to ABC called White Dave. And you know, for everyone who's just really upset that BMJ is coming to a close, please send all your correspondence to 50 Curtis Jackson, who has taken sole responsibility for the loss of jobs and your show. So don't at me. At 50.
Good job. Hey, what's going on, Hot Ones fans? A quick heads up, the second annual Complex Con is coming to Long Beach, California, November 4th and 5th, and you know First We Feast and Hot Ones are going to be in the building. There's going to be a live Hot Ones taping. We're going to be doing a panel with my buddies Andy Milanakis and Maddie Matheson. The last dab will be for sale. It's a whole thing, total circus. Hope to see you there.